Wow, isn't that unbelievable? Everyone was taken aback by Bonnie R's Grammy win because her name wasn't exactly at the top of the list of predictions, especially when compared to enormous records that had become cultural icons. Nevertheless, it's safe to say that everyone was shocked. Bonnie was one of them, but here's the problem: Bonnie's career has never gone as planned, and her Grammy victory was only one part of a tale with many surprising turns. Let's examine her journey in more detail because, believe me, it's not your usual story of pursuing fame. The twist is that, despite being surrounded by so much musical talent, Bonnie Raitt was born on November 8, 1949, in Burbank, California. Her mother, Marge Goddard, was an accom pianist who filled their home with beautiful melodies, and her father, John Raitt, was a Broadway legend with a commanding voice who starred in timeless productions like Oklahoma and The Pajama Game. It's surprising, isn't it, that Bonnie wasn't excited to join her mom at the piano. In fact, her mother's skill was so intimidating that Bonnie decided to avoid it entirely. Growing up in a musical family should have sparked Bonnie's passion right away, but her relationship with music wasn't straightforward. It was a mixture of admiration, struggles, and yes, even moments of frustration. It was the height of the counterculture movement, and Bonnie was drawn to its freedom and edge. She even let her hair grow long to match the cool nonconformist aesthetic. But it wasn't just a fashion statement. Bonnie was tapping into something much deeper that would profoundly shape her music and her identity in the years ahead. At the time, most kids were jamming out to the newest pop songs, but Bonnie found herself captivated by the beatnik's unapologetic rebellious vibe. 1957 Christmas. When Bonnie was 8 years old, she opened a present that would forever alter her life, a Stella guitar. To be clear, this was no ordinary toy. The Stella was the type of guitar that blues legends like Robert Johnson and Lead Belly had once strung. Can you imagine the significance of that moment? Little Bonnie didn't fully comprehend the weight of it at the time, but it seems as though the blues found her before she even realized what it meant. Fast forward to those magical summers at Camp Regis in the Adara Mountains, and picture this adolescent surrounded by tall trees. Bonnie really started to shine when she was surrounded by serene lakes and the sound of music. Camp counselors encouraged her to perform for her peers, and those intimate performances helped her find her voice and build her confidence. By the age of 15, Bonnie was already immersed in the folk revival scene, spending countless hours listening to folk albums and honing her guitar skills. She was falling deeper and deeper into the world of music, but it was the blues that would eventually capture her soul. The real turning point came in 1964 when Bonnie discovered the album Blues at Newport 1963. It was like a lightning bolt, featuring some of the most iconic blues artists of the time. The album lit a spark in her heart and fueled her obsession with the genre. That passion led her to master the slide guitar technique that would later become her signature and set her apart in the music industry. And then in 1969, Bonnie took a leap of faith that few would dare to make. She left behind a promising academic path at Radcliffe College to pursue her love of blues music. It was a bold move, but for Bonnie it wasn't just a choice, it was a calling. What happened next was the stuff of dreams. She met Dick Waterman, a blues manager who is renowned for reviving legends like Son House and Mississippi's careers. Before she knew it, Fred McDowell Waterman had taken her under his wing after recognizing her natural aptitude. Imagine going from being a college student to performing with the very legends who influenced the music you love. Bonnie was sharing the stage with Son House and John Lee Hooker, two of the greatest giants of the blues. When Bonnie R's first album, Bonnie Raitt, was released in 1971, critics praised her unique style and her remarkable mastery of the bottleneck guitar. However, despite the positive reviews, the album didn't propel her to stardom. For a while, it appeared that Bonnie may become one of those musicians who are adored by critics but ignored by the general public. But in 1977 everything changed with the release of her second album, Give It Up, which received equally high praise but failed to attain commercial success. Her breakthrough album that featured a reimagined version of Runaway. While critics weren't entirely sold, listeners were captivated by the track's rhythm and blues vibe. Influenced by the soulful sounds of Al Green, the song resonated with audiences, and just like that, Bonnie became a household name. And let's not forget the real showstopper, Bonnie's slide guitar. At a time when women guitarists weren't often celebrated, Bonnie shattered expectations, proving she could hold her own with the best of them. Her talent earned her widespread respect in the music world, and by 1975 she landed on the cover of Rolling Stone. It was a defining moment, solidifying her status as a force to be reckoned with. But as Bonnie's career soared, her personal life took a darker turn. Immersed in the blues scene of the 1970s, a world infamous for its heavy drinking, Bonnie found herself slipping into a dangerous lifestyle. What began as a casual nod to the blues life evolved into a serious struggle with alcohol. By the 1980s. Her drinking spiraled out of control, threatening her health and career. Late nights, wild parties, and self-destructive behaviors became the norm. Then, in 1987, after reaching her lowest point, she became incredibly motivated and wanted to work with Prince. She understood that in order to work with someone of his caliber, she needed to improve her act. Being sober wasn't easy, but it was a life-changing experience. Bonnie lost weight both literally and figuratively, regaining her confidence and health. Then, on January 1, 1989, her first album following her sobriety was released. At first, it didn't generate much buzz, but then, on February 1, 1990, the Grammy Awards became her big break. Bonnie was the epitome of a comeback, winning 3 awards, including the coveted Album of the Year. This demonstrated that sometimes reaching your lowest point is only the beginning of a journey to greater heights. Nick of Time went from being a quiet release to a monumental success by April 1, 1990. It peaked at number 1 on the charts and sold an incredible 5 million copies in the United States alone. However, the momentum didn't stop there. In 1991, Bonnie released Luck of the Draw, her most successful album to date, selling over 7 million copies in the youth market alone. The album resonated deeply with fans, and one of its standout tracks, Still Burning Bright, held a special place in Bonnie's heart. She dedicated the poignant ballad to her late friend Stevie Ray Vaughan, whose untimely death in a helicopter crash left an indelible mark on her. The song became a tribute and a testament to the bonds formed through music. When Bonnie was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2000, her legacy was solidified. Her outstanding contributions to music were acknowledged, and in 2022, she was given the Icon Award at Billboard's Women in Music event, demonstrating that her influence is still growing. Beyond her music, she is a cultural influencer who utilizes her position to support causes that are important to her, such as environmental activism and the Ukrainian situation. After decades in the business, Bonnie Raitt is the real deal. She continues to inspire people and shatter stereotypes. Her story is one of perseverance, metamorphosis, and an enduring passion for music that surpasses honors and recognition. So, how about you? Have you been a fan of Bonnie's an incredible journey for a long time, or are you just now becoming aware of her music? Tell me in the comments section below, and if you find her music inspiring, don't forget to hit the like button. And subscribe this channel for more least videos.